Like, where is the game? There's a lot of talk about what's going on with hurling at the moment. Like, was Saturday as bad, or what was the most frustrating element about it, and how do you fix that?
Yeah, well, one, whether I won or lost on Saturday, I promise you my demeanour, my attitude would have been the exact same. Frustration is a big thing, and I'm not going to put it towards Johnny Murphy as such, because I think like there was another game or two that was the exact same, and if you really look at it, like, you could definitely blow a freeze non-stop. If you really were technical about the exact route, you could blow them non-stop. And as I said, if you think of one of the games of the championship last year, it was us versus Kilkenny, toe to toe down here. It was one of the best games. I'd say the free count was barely into double figures, and yet I don't think Fergal got a game afterwards.
Is that what everyone wants, though?
Well,
you know, like,
no.
because hurling gets this thing on football, look, they're going to go out, complete, you know, why are they swallowing the whistle, why are they letting it off?
I don't really mind what football do. I don't know anything about their rules, or I honestly don't, and I will not comment on it because I don't know, right? I just know, I go to a lot of matches because obviously you're watching different teams and you're trying to learn. Well, there's nothing better than going to a good hurling match where it's allowed to develop, and you get to see different players expressing themselves, you get to see different sided tactics. Like, I love watching good hurling games, and as a hurling person, outside of me managing Wexford, I just love seeing the less the ref has to do in the game, the better. If there's stuff to be dealt with, that is really deal with it. If there's something bad going on, if there's a dirty pull going on, if there's something really bad, if you've taken 8 steps, like if you've done something that stands out, 100% deal with it, no matter what side it's on. But I think we've an amazing game that when it's flowing, it's incredible. Like, I'm sure myself and Brian Cordy last year could definitely pick things in that game that we said, Fergal, you could have picked. But I felt kind of that night that he was kind of on both sides. He was balanced, you know, and I felt he tried to let the game just go. To me, I love it.
But it seemed to be frustrating everyone, even yourself and Matty were kind of both going bananas at one stage. So it seemed to fuel the players, the management. Like, it's not fair enough to when a game like that is actually getting everybody.
But the whole lot, I think we were frustrated because it was just freeze every 2 seconds. Like, I know Matty and them were giving out about different things, and when we say them giving out about it to the fourth official, sure, we're going to give out about it. Like, it can't be one-sided on the sideline either, like, you know. But it was definitely as frustrated a night as I've had, and I don't think they can justify 50 frees in a game. We've looked back at some of them, and one of the frees the lads sent me, I have my phone there yesterday, so we're looking at Liam Ryan in the second half. He leaves his hand just on your man's hip, like, so he didn't pull him during that, he just had, and all the boys, the coaches were on to me, Davy, yesterday evening, my backs coach was saying, how is that a free?
The red cards, well, you're appealing Conor McDonald one.
Yeah.
Clearly you don't think that was a red card.
Did you see it, no?
Yeah, it looked like, obviously the previous tackle was a bit more loose around the neck, whoever it was.
I don't know, I didn't see the previous one, right?
But it was just a little slap in the hurl.
No, trust me, it wasn't
not a slap, he just caught him with
I don't think it was a sending off. I really don't think Conor McDonald's was a sending off. So that's why we're appealing it. If you ask me straight, should there have been 3 sendings after the night left at 14 and 13? I've been involved in games where it has been right on the edge physically wise. That wasn't on the edge physically wise the other night.
Dublin have a case for Owen O'Donnell surely as well.
Yeah,
Jack just fell over the advertising.
Yeah, like there's different things. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying to you. I would see Dublin's point on it 110%. I just didn't see 13 yellows the other night in the game and the 3 reds.
Do you think the game is in some sort of danger generally, Davy, or was this an aberration or a one-off weekend?
I don't know. I think the game has been incredible. I just think the last few years have shown, the Munster Championship 2 years ago, the Leinster Championship last year, like, I think they were phenomenal. Like, why are we now in crisis? Like, is the game in danger? Sure, there's only one denominator, is the free count. Like, that's what the denominator is. When our game is let flow, think it's a great game. And that's all. I'm not. I just like every now and again people make mistakes. I just think have a look at it, and it's not broken. And for all of us, right, you as reporters and journalists doing stuff, us the same. The better things are, the better it is for all of us. We enjoy the game way more, and reporting on exciting games. It's brilliant.
Is the black card dead though for the weekend? Though?
I don't know.
Given the reaction to the weekend, you presume now that there's probably little appetite to change, or do you think clearly you're not a fan of the black card?
I'm just not.
Because there's a big vote.
I'm not a fan. That's just my own personal opinion. So they're saying cynical fouling and stuff like that, right? My only thing on that, right, is if there's stuff happening, the sideline fella gets onto the referee. If it needs a yellow or a second yellow, let's deal with it. Let's not bring more cards into it. We have what we have, and I'm happy enough with it. I'd like to see sideline officials get more power than what they have, because it's very hard for the referee to see every single thing that's happening, right? That's all I'm saying to you. Is he could get a small bit of a hand if players are being held and their runs are being checked all the time. Then the sideline official can totally see what's happening. He needs to have the power to say to the referee, Johnny, I seen X, Y, and Z. That's all. That's the only thing I would like to see, is where the sideline officials are able to tell the referee a bit more what's happening.
So presumably be the same view then with this talk of a second referee. Forget that, just get the sideline guys. There's enough officials.
I think we can. I think the sideline guys have more to offer.
Yeah.
If they're focused in, because any fella that's following, like this ref in the game following the ball, sure, he has to be following the ball, and there could be more stuff outside of it. Let the guys that are there help you. Like they're all referees. And if they're doing their job honestly and fairly, they just call it, and that's it. And I think if a fella gets a yellow card, trust me, he won't want to get a second one. He won't be holding. He won't be checking runs. I think we could take that out of it. Nice to see you. Take care. Thanks very much. Take care.
Do you think what happened at the weekend maybe came from above, like when you saw what happened at Park and Keep as well, just with the free kick and everything else? Like, is it?
Do I think it came from Crow Park and the directive?
Yeah.
Huh?
That's a yes, is it?
I'll tell you after what I know.
It's clearly.
I will tell you afterwards.
Do you think it's a turn off for fans of the season?
One
Sunday was 26 points for free.
100 as a hurling person, and I really mean this. I love watching hurling games. I love going to them. I just want to see players being able to play, and if it's on the edge, maybe give the benefit of the doubt to the players on the edge. Alright? But let's not be blown. Like, hurling is a manly game. Good tackles in it, and it'll be bordering on the edge. That's why we've the best field game in the world. You know, and let's not be looking for stuff to do.
Even if it's a liberal interpretation of, be it the steps rule or the hand pass.
Yeah, I'm okay, right? If it's a step over, I'm okay. If it's 3 foot,
that's probably what has contributed to maybe the epic games is a wee bit of leeway. Like.
But there has to be leeway, right? Like, let players express themselves. If you're taking the piss of something, if you're overdoing the steps by 3 or 4, 100, stop that. All right. If you're stopping fellas making runs where they want to get into space, you can deal with all that stuff, right? And I think a yellow or two will sort it out. But the other night, I'd say for Dublin ourselves, you could not get in to a way of playing the game. You just couldn't. And they'll say to me, we have to blow. No way. No, 100%, that was not the way to referee the game the other night.
You mentioned the ref in your game against Kilkenny last summer, and maybe you didn't get a game after that. I mean, there's clearly an onus on people assessing referees, an onus on referees, and maybe hurling just doesn't fit into this neat little box that they have.
Yeah, well,
in an admin sense, you know what I mean? Everything has to be, you get that right.
So, okay, how do we judge hurling as a success, or how do we say the people are happy, you're happy with the game? Was any at Wexford Park when we played Kilkenny last year? We down there, right? What was the atmosphere like? Both crowds, did you enjoy the game? Like, did Fergal make any blatantly bad calls? I don't think so, right? Like, is that not kind of what we're about? That you're not saying the referee can just go AWOL and do what he wants, but if there's balance on both sides and he's not favouring a side and he's letting both things go in the same way. If he's refereeing, like, we've a fair idea of some referees and their style. Like, I actually try and look into referees and their style of what they do. And if you have an idea what's coming, it's great. If you have an idea, yeah, that'll be a tough physical game, he'll let it run. you know that's going to happen. So in my mind, then as a manager, I kind of know that the game is going to be let flow. The other night, before it happened, I had a fair idea what was going to happen.
What do you think of the Limerick idea for the
What?
Limerick's motion for the maybe the 3 appeals for whatever you play, like when you see the 65 they didn't get last year against Kilkenny?
Yeah, but is that a thing? Like, that was a hard one for them to take. There's different things that's happened. I can think of one or two with Clare myself, and different things that have happened to decide games, and I see why they put in the motion. I don't know, do I agree with it? I just think the officials, 2, 4, you have 6 officials outside of the referee. How much power have they? Because when we ask them something, all they're saying to us is, I can't do anything. How can one fella in the middle of the field control the way the speed has gone and the way the game has gone? It's very hard for him, in my view, to control everything. That's just as I see it. I just think, like, you look at the NFL, right, and it's a slower game, but they operate as a team. They talk as a team, and they get the decision nearly right. And I think I would love to see a kind of more of a team approach than what I would love to see is a team approach that say Fergal Horgan has his team, and that's a team approach that he has during the year, and they know what they're looking at and what they're doing. I think that might work well myself, that he's umpires and his things, and that might mean that he's a set umpires that are looking at stuff. That's just how I would see it, and I think it might be a bad idea.
Won't things inevitably loosen up a bit come the championship time? Is there a bit of a clampdown early in the league? Does this happen a lot of years?
Why would that be? I'm trying to understand that. What's the logic in doing it league if you're not going to do a championship? I'm trying to figure out, because the way I see the league, and I'm happy with it, is we're playing a lot of games in succession, right? And that kind of mirrors the championship, which is good, because I'm rotating my squad a bit at the moment. I'm trying to find out, have I enough of players to make sure that when you have so many games coming up that you have the squads to rotate. So I like that part of it. I think the refereeing should be nearly the exact same way as it's going to be in the championship. If you ask me honestly, I think Croke Park and them do a lot of really good stuff. I think we just need to, if we have something working, let's leave it working.
What's your take on the Mayor Ford motion that's going before this weekend?
It's going to be some crack, isn't it?
John Kennedy came out pretty much against it. He was saying people don't realise how vital the role is. He said it gives Saoirse out. It's very vital to get something.
Saoirse might be happy to be gone, because I know how these GPS covers in the games, it's very unreal. But if you have to change, like I know against Kilkenny we changed formation on 4 to 5 different times. I know we to change different things that I needed. I needed to get 1 or 2 messages in about our style of play, that I wanted to change the style of play at a different stage in the game. How am I meant to get that in? How am I meant to get the exact message I want in? And they're fairly vital, because it changes the way you want to play. Because I presume they're not going to let me go onto the field anyhow.
Doesn't stop you.
It does. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there is, trust me, more than you would realise. We change different things a lot of the time. Certainly I do. And Saoirse is vital to that. Like, even in the Dublin game the other night, there was 3 or 4 different things we had to do. And only for him I wouldn't have been able to do it, because I would not have been able to get the message communicated the way I wanted it. And I think it helped us.
Would you do that more than most managers?
No, that's the way we play. Like, yeah, I think it would. But like the other night, we changed 2 or 3 things big time about the way we were set up. We had to, and it helped us when we did it. My lads are used to that, because they know our formations, they know the styles of play, so they just like that. They'll pick it up, and they don't ask the questions.
Just the Kilkenny game, I've never seen conditions like it. Darren Brennan couldn't barely reach the 45 fight. It looked like he pushed up like a football press.
I can't answer you that now.
Yeah,
but
Paddy Foley was centre forward at one stage, and it looked like it was 5 lads across the middle.
All I'd say to you, there's a lot of different stuff we do. Like, this has been going on for years. Since I came down here, we work on different formations and different ways of playing. I love it, the lads love it. They're now in a position where if we say do this, they'll do it in the game. And they trust it and they like it. Like, for years maybe teams talk about having a plan. We spend ages sitting down and going over stuff when we work on different stuff. And a lot of the teams might tell you to go out and play off the cuff. That's the biggest load of rubbish ever. Like, they do serious work like in it. I love trying to see, can we do something different, or can we do something way different? And I'd be chuckling to myself at different things and that they're never picked up, but it's great.
I presume that's you're saying that you worked on that since you came down, Davy. That's obviously a long-term project.
Oh, that's focus.
How much longer do you think it would take you to perfect that? Or
No, listen, we're so even I was happy enough after a year or two, but then you evolve that as you're going along. You just evolve it, like, and this is how I see hurling, guys. When I was a young kid, my favourite time growing up was when I was a young fella out the back. I lived in my 2-bedroom terraced house, right? And I had a factory right beside me, and I gone out to the wall. You have to picture this: rushing home after school to get my hurling ball, and I was out to the wall. And I would have been different players at different times. I'd have seen myself playing centre back and I'm off the wall. Then I'd be an attacker with my goals and I'd be burying it. I kind of want my hurlers now to feel like they can do anything. That you're not limited to that little box of 40 by 40 or 30 by 30. That if you want to travel, if you feel like going up the field and you end up in the half forward line or full forward line, go and do it. And just someone else will work into your position or whatever it is. They talk about, this is how I love to see the game, is the players having loads of decisions that they can make. And people would accuse me of it's too robotic or stuff. It's the complete opposite. So when Lee or any of them boys get the ball, that they have number of options that they can decide on. I can never tell them what option to take. They have to take a sharp ball, a dink ball, a crossfield ball, a shot. They have to make their mind up of what they want to do. That's what I love that these guys are allowed to do. They're not being dictated how to play. They're being told, do a number of options, you pick the right option. And that's just my view on it. And that's why when I heard sweeper system or hit the ball long, if you get the ball and hit the ball, sure, it's only you and your man, you win it and you score it. And that's a good part of the game. But why can't there be lots more parts of the game? Like, I just want it to be everything. Let them do everything. Like that little guy I used to be down at home and I doing stuff off the wall and I practice an X, Y and Z. That excites me about hurling. And that's kind of, and I've often been seen the other way, of where you're stopping development or you're stopping this and it's too robotic, you can't. It's completely the opposite. Get out there and play is how I feel about hurling.
Were you always definitely coming back this year, Davy? There was obviously your links to
No,
Galway and
I know I was 100% probably not coming back. On the Sunday before the Thursday, I was 100% gone. I had asked, there was 9 or 10 people really close to me. 9 of them had said to me, Davy, you can't keep doing that journey. There was 3 reasons, and the travel was only the 3rd reason. There was 2 very personal reasons, which I told the boys and I explained to them, the personal reasons. And it hadn't to do anything with another team. It was really personal issues at home, and I don't want it coming out in the public because it is very personal and to do with people that are close to me. But it isn't as straightforward as you think. And I was gone on the Sunday 100%. And then on the Wednesday, and I was going to announce it on the Thursday, did a complete U-turn. But probably a text and a call that I got on the Thursday definitely just got something in my head. And I remember going home to Sharon on the Wednesday night, and I was pretty emotional. I said, I just can't go. I just can't go. And it was very emotional, I tell you, because they have been very good. I think you see, I click with this crowd here 110%. Like, we click, and I hope it lasts. I don't know, do things like that ever last, but it feels pretty good. The way myself and the lads are, the way the crowd is. We bounce off each other here. Like, this place is rocking 90% of the time, so it is, which is great. And I kind of love that.
You obviously think there's more in them as well, Davy. They've come on exponentially.
They're willing, you know what? They're kind of willing to push out the bound. So I talked to you about the style of play. The lads actually love asking questions and love saying, okay, how can we get better? What do we need? Like, every night at training, we have to focus on different things. Don't turn up to training just to train. That's a load of bollocks. You can't just turn up to training just to train. We have to have exact purpose on why we're training and what we're trying to do. Like, we got different numbers. I'd have numbers the whole time. Like, when we play Kilkenny, right? I think in the first half, we got 52 or something, 50 something touches of the ball, and only 25 when we got in the first time. So we're saying to ourselves, okay, we got to improve our first touch as regards, we got to be hitting 45% of them, nearly 85-90% of the time we got to be taking the ball first time. We can't afford to be fumbling the ball or doing whatever. Like, so when I give them a number, so our focus at training might be, we have to get that touch, we have to get this better, we have to pick the ball a bit lower under our knee or whatever, you know. Like, as the goal against Kilkenny cost us, Simon just lifted it a small bit too high, and in fairness, like, the goal was top class. The way he got it into his hand and gone, but it was our fault in the technique we went at it, like, you know. So
What will happen to you, Davy, the day you don't come back?
oh, I don't know, man. Jesus, I don't know.
Is it 20 something years now between playing
30.
30. So
30.
like, have you?
Is
there a fear there?
100%, right? To tell you honestly, I am building up one or two things. I don't think I could be a person that could do nothing. Like, I love thinking of different things, whether it be Fit as Family or another program or two that's coming. I love thinking of different things. That fear, like, it's going to happen. And I don't know, it'll be sooner rather than later. I don't know what could be. I do fear leaving it and not being there. I really do, because I'd miss it. But it will happen. And I tentatively have one or two things that I'm trying to get ready, because I think you have to be ready. Like, sometimes when players finish at inter-county level, I often worry about them, that they've been working at such a high level and such intensity for a while. Do we just forget about them then? They go from a certain way of life for maybe 8 or 9 or 10 years, and then you've nothing. Like, it's a big void when you're in that thing all the time and you're operating under pressure and you're doing these things and whatever, and then you've not. Like, that's going from a fair high down to a fair low as well. So I'm trying to prepare myself with 2 or 3 different little projects in case that day comes, because you don't know in this game. Like, the longevity, I'm delighted that I got to play 18 years or whatever for Clare, 18 or 19. I'm delighted that I'm in top level management for 12 and a bit years. Like, it doesn't happen where you get that type of run. So I've been really fortunate and really lucky. And I'm still only 48. So with 5 stints, but I'm hanging in there.
I was going to add, like, it's taken its toll as well on you physically, hasn't
it? Okay, it does take its toll, because you would, like, if I told you the hours I put in a week, you wouldn't believe it. But I love it. The physical thing, right, like the 5 stints, and people saying to me, it's down to the way you're on the sideline. Unfortunately, my mum's side of the family, like, she's lost a lot of brothers very young. Like, it's in the genes, right? And I keep saying to her, fuck man, I got your genes, like, that's it, like, you know. And I did, and I love it the way, because herself, like, everyone say they think of me like my dad or whatever. It's kind of like my mum, because she's fiery. As you see, playing cards, if you're playing with her every Thursday night for the last number of years, which I enjoy more than anything, she has it. But just unfortunately, like, her family, there is massive heart disease in it. Might it be easier for me not to be involved, but is that living, like, I kind of want, I'll convince myself that I live at whatever age, right, in my own mind. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. But I kind of like doing what I do. I like doing, and I think it's important that you live your life in a way that you're really happy with. So it is, because there's no point being afraid to do stuff. If you're afraid to do stuff, guys, I don't know, you're really living, you know?
Celebration at the final whistle the last couple of days. It was like winning All Ireland. Do you not think to yourself, I can't, I have to keep it for my own health, I need to keep it calm. Clearly there's no, if you're in it, you're... I
guarantee you, right, if I give you an exercise, look at me for the whole 70 minutes, there'll be a lot of that where you won't see emotion. But God, I feel it, like, I am a passionate guy, and I love, like, you think to yourself, like, I've a lot of stuff done in one that maybe it'd be wearing off. Like, the best victory, the best victory you can ever have is the next one. Like, it's great what's done, but I never really look back and think, like, when I was playing, I was fortunate to play with great players and with great days. And if you give me playing over management, I take the playing every day of the week. Every day of the week, I loved it, being involved with the players, and I was lucky to play with great players. But I wouldn't swap anything, like, I wouldn't, I want to be that way. What you've achieved, I never think of anything what's done. It's where can I go next? How can I evolve next? Or how can I get better? And to still have that feeling of feeling that way, but I also still have the other feeling of when you don't win and you're as low as a snake, like you're so down, it's unreal. Like that feeling is still there. Like I still get that feeling where you're absolutely hurting at the bit. Like when Clare beat us this year, hurting at the bit. When Tip beat us last year, I think I've learned to deal with stuff better. But does it still hurt? If it doesn't hurt you, you're not doing your job 110%. You're faking it. You have to be in at 110%.
Sound like an addict, Davy.
Yeah, it could be, man.
But like, you know what I mean? The way you're talking about the highs and the lows and how it...
It is. But I think in the highs and the lows, you have to... When you get to there, it's very important that you bring yourself back down, right? So after most games, I won't go out, no matter what the story is. I'll go home, I'll go up and I'll watch TV in order to bring myself just to be level. Like I would be very calm most of the time. I love thinking stuff out. I love just going over and around stuff. I love having my own free time, then go for a walk or do whatever, or go to the cinema. You like having your own free time as well, which is great. But I think it's important when you get to them highs, bring yourself down, bring yourself back to where you are. Like I think that's important. Like I live out in the middle of no place, and I love it. I love it.
Davy, Derek McGrath told us before, like when he lost the other finding his goal, then he went through a grieving process. Do you have one?
You feel so bad, it's unreal. Like I will feel bad, but normally what happens to me is after a few days I'll get back into the swing of it again, and like it'll take you a few days no matter what when you're beaten, whether you're hammered or whether you lose by a point. Trust me, it does take a few days. And you feel absolutely terrible inside, and then you'll start to get over it, and you'll come back in again, and you're back on the horse again, and it's grand.
You're still 6 months,
I have to leave this as the last question as we go.
You're still 6 months, is that kind of kicking kind of moves like fun, or you kind of
Would you believe it, tonight is my first night back training him tonight, so I want to do a bit tonight with him. It's probably a bit much, right, if I'm totally honest about it, but the fact that the club found it hard to get someone last year, I was fair happy to help him out. Like your club is your club, isn't it? Like at the end of the day, I'm delighted to go back in and try and help my club a small bit. I love it, but it is a lot. It is a lot, but it is what it is. But you know what? Not being manager is actually great. Like Tim is doing a great job, and so I just have to turn up for once. I don't have to think about all the other stuff. I just turn up now, and I do training, and I come up with the tactics or whatever.
Did you take the session the day of your wedding or the next morning?
I saw it was the next day. I know we had a late enough night, right? And in fairness to Sharon, I said, listen, the lads are training. We're in the county semi-final the next week, and it was a woeful day. Now I'll tell you, woeful day. Wouldn't put a dog out in it. I went out for now, but I felt great after it. I'm back out for the night afters. Then we had the afters after that night, you know. So, but she knows kind of that's the way I am. Like I did not miss a club game in 20 years from my club. I never missed one. Never missed one in 20 years. I got taken off with the top of my finger in the county semi-final one year, and I was back the following year. I never missed a game, club-wise championship, in 20 years, not one. And I'm very proud of that I didn't. Love being able to do that. The way I look at it is, probably in November I have a great chance if I want to go and do something. I can go away there, and the weather isn't hectic around here either, so it is grand, you know. Don't know how Sharon feels about that, but that's the way I look at it.
Thanks for watching Our Game. Don't forget to like and share the videos, and if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe.